Hi guys, Stompbox here, and what you're looking at on my bench is one of my favorite Chibsons from, I guess I've had it about a year or so, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to change these pickups, which are Dimarzio Paths from around 1980, real nice sweet sounding pickups, and I'm going to put in these. I have two of these. They're Dimarzio Super Distortions. These ones are from the 70s, and I'm going to put those in instead. And the reason I'm doing it is because I was watching a video from Squazoo about an Ace Frehley Epiphone that he has, and they've got Super Ds in it, and it sounds great, so I forgot how good they sounded, so I'm going to stick those in just for kicks for a while. I can always change them back. These ones here are from the 70s, and you can tell because they have the square tabs. The 1980s ones and newer have these, give me a sec here, these triangular shaped tabs, and that change in Dimarzio happened somewhere around 1980. So I believe it was somewhere mid 1980. So if you see those triangular tabs from 1980 or newer, you see, whoops, the square tabs, then they're 70s. So I'm figuring these are got to be 1980 or close to it, just from the condition. They got a bit of rust around them, and you can tell they've been well used. So yeah, I'm going to do that swap. Also too, while I got the thing apart, I'm going to take off these tuners. These are our Gibson vintage style, and I'm going to put on some Grovers just because I have them. I'll throw those on too. Alrighty, so just give me a second here. Oh yeah, one other thing I want to show as well is if you ever get the chance to change your bridge, consider a Tone Pros bridge. They're a little pricey, but oops, how that one needs to be tightened down. But you got these little set screws that snug the bridge down onto the post. So, and the same thing with the tailpiece. You can see the set screw in there. So your bridge and your tailpiece don't fall off when you're restringing or working on the guitar. Really cool. Alright, hang on one second. Okay, here's a little shot under the hood. It's a bit messy there because I've been removing and reinstalling pickups and stuff like that a lot. So normally it would be a little tidier. This would be the bridge. This would be the neck. And the wires we're interested in right here. The black one is the ground. You can see how it's soldered on there. And this white one is the hot. So we're going to be removing those two. And similar over here. There's the hot wire right there. And the black wire, where is it? Right around here on there. So I'm going to pull those on. Take those out and just pull the pickups right through. Alrighty, got the soldering iron all warmed up, and I'm hoping you can see this. Just pull that off of there. Come on. There it is. That one, okay, that would be the bridge. And let's get this cap out of the way so I don't melt it. Get that one off. And this one here has a extra ground wire. Yep, that off. And there. Okay, and that would be the neck position. Okay, so now it's all left to do is pull the pickups out through the guitar and fish through the other ones. Okay, stand by 1 second. Alrighty, so now we're going to go out with the old and in with the older. This one is going to be the neck position one, for no other reason than it's got a longer wire on it. The two pickups are pretty much the same. Back in the day, they didn't worry about which one's neck, which one's bridge. They just kind of made them the same. The fun bit is installing the ring. And This is always a pain in the ass. I've done it enough times I'm kind of getting halfway good at it now. So I just kind of try to line up the spring and the screw until I feel the spring drop into the hole there. Then I hold the whole assembly with one hand, get the screwdriver and try to get it started. I can feel it going through, so get it going through just a little bit like that. That's good enough. Flip it around and do the other side. Okay, you can actually turn it by fingers here, and just in case I'm lucky I can use my fingers to get it going. And that's it. Stumac does a little clip that holds it on. If you want to invest the money for a little bent up piece of metal, I've chosen just to do it this way. It works. The first time you've tried to do this, you're going to learn some new swear words. I know I did. I'll spare you the details of that for now. But after a few tries, you start to get a handle on it. And it's not that hard. So you just bring the ring down till it's roughly flush with the pickup. You're going to adjust the pickup again later anyway once it's in the guitar. And with the Super Distortion, you'll notice I'm in the picture. You notice the poles are all the same, so it's not like this where you have the screws and the solid poles. Oh, excuse me. And the solid poles, so one goes one way, one goes the other. These, it doesn't seem to matter much. So I just install them so that the wire goes through nicely, which it will. And speaking of that, how do you get the wire through the body? Well, you use a piece of mechanics wire attached on firmly. It works good. This stuff's nice and stiff, and you simply push it through. It goes through the channel all the way through into the control cavity, and you feel it bunching up in there. And then what I'll do now is I'll flip the guitar over, grab the end of the mechanics wire, and then just draw the whole thing through. It's easier to do the neck one first, because then when you put on the bridge one, if you put the bridge one on first, then the neck wire will go through to about here and then start bunching up into the wire for the bridge, and it gets harder. So if you put the neck in first, then the bridge one will slide right past this. It's easier that way. Alright, so give me a moment and I'll get the wire. Okay. Here's the trick. I got the wire already shoved through. This is for the bridge one. And you see, you just pull it through gently. I have to give it a wiggle. You can see it's pushing its way through. You can see the other wire's moving, but it's coming. And just move the pickup a little closer. There we go. And here it comes. There's the end of the bridge wire. Okay, being careful now not to rip other wires off. You gotta be gentle. And it's getting hung up on this switch wire. So gently push it underneath. There we go. Pull it through, and there you have it. There's the wire for the bridge pickup. Okay, so what I'll do now, this one here is for the neck, this is for the bridge. I use that piece of wire for both of them. So what I'll do now is I'll flip the guitar over, screw down the pickup. I don't think you need to bother seeing that. And then I'll solder everything together. Alrighty, stand by a moment. Alrighty, so here we go. We're doing the bridge one first. Okay, there's the wire for the bridge in place. Give it a sec to cool, and now I got like an extra 5 miles of wire than I need on here, but that's okay. Okay, and just ground. Okay, that's all good. Ground wire stayed in place. Okay, so I'll just tuck that under there out of the way. Now I'll bring around the neck position one. You probably can't see this one too well in the camera. Unfortunately, I'm just using an iPad, and it's not the easiest thing in the world to work with for stuff like this. So, but what I'm doing is essentially the same as the, essentially the same, there's my pliers, there we go, as the bridge position. Okay, so I just did the hot wire. Now I'll just do this to ground. There it is. Okay. And that's that. Okay. Tuck that down in there too. Now, for the big test, I'm going to flip it over and do the tap test to make sure I got everything going, no weird hums or noises or anything. And then I'll get on to the tuners. Already started loosening some of these off, but just use a socket. This is a 10mm socket on an extension, and I'll whip these right off of there. Okay, turn that so it comes loose. Do the same with the other ones. I'm going to wind up reusing these flat washers because the Grovers I have are older ones, and I don't have the washers for them. I had them kicking around for a while, so I just thought it was time to put them on. It's a pretty easy thing to do. They're a straight refit, retrofit. They just slide right in place. If I'm not mistaken, the Grovers are only held on with one screw, but I believe it lines up with one of the screw holes from these. So you don't even have to do that. Just drop them in place, snug them down, put the screws in the back, and you're good. Okay, so these little bushings, you just come right off. These are a bit rusty. I don't know what happened there. A little dampness happening. I left this guitar out all summer just on a stand, so maybe some humidity got in among these things. To clean them up, put a little bit of oil on them when I put them away. Man, look at all that. Not liking that at all. Check the truss rod and everything too soon. So that's with those, that side. So I'll flip it over about as close as I can get the iPad to the headstock, but you see what I'm doing here. These little screws that hold on the tuning peg. There's two per, but the Grovers are just one. And I'm pretty sure that the Grover, there's one here. So it's only got one screw, but I'm pretty sure that lines up with one of these screws. So we'll find out in a moment. In fact, why don't we find out right now, just for kicks. Okay, so I'm going to take the bushing off, and this will go like this. And yeah, that lines right up perfectly. Nice. So there you have it. It makes it real easy changing standard tuners over to a set of Grovers if you want. One word though is that the old style vintage tuners, I mean the vintage ones with the press in ferrules that go in the front, you'll have to widen the hole a bit because they're a smaller hole in order to do the swap. When I put these on, I took off the vintage ones, and I had to open these holes up a little bit. I can't remember the diameter of the drill bit, but that's online. You'll find that all kinds of websites. So that's about all there is to taking off the tuners. So I'll spare you the rest, and I'll be back in a minute to install the Grovers. Okay, so just putting in this screw. They do line up pretty good, but I'm not going to screw them down tight. I want to leave them loose so there's a little bit of play in the peg head. So when I put the bushings in place, those can seat properly. The peg's not shoved one way or the other in a hole. It has to be centered properly, so that'll line up. This will go through, and then I'll snug this down, then snug that. Okay, and there we go. Got the Grovers installed. Putting these nuts on is just the same as taking the other ones off, just in reverse. The only thing is, when you snug these down, just hand tight is all. You don't want to go too tight because you could wind up splitting your headstock, which would suck. And there you go. Got the new pickups in. I got the tuners in place. All I got to do now is restring it and try it out. Okay, there you go. Any questions? You know where to find me. Thanks for watching.